Hi everyone, we're back with another episode of Who Said What with me. I'm Heba.
And hi, I'm Nira.
And this is part 2 of our episode with Aly El Etriby. He's a very good friend of ours, and last week, if you remember, we spoke about work and we spoke about dieting and fasting and Ramadan and workouts. It was a lovely episode. It was a lot of fun. So we carried on for much longer than we expected, and here is part 2. I hope you guys enjoy it. Well, are you gonna ask the question? Did you meet anybody? Did you go on a date?
I didn't go on a date, but I've met a lot of friends, girlfriends and guy friends. I got introduced to a lot of people there.
Look on your face. Aly's single, right? You're single.
Yeah, I'm single. Okay,
Aly's single, and he's a lovely human being and a major catch. So we need to find him something. So we want to know. We want to know. So tell us. So did anything come to fruition there? Like, are you in contact with a girl that you met there? Just anybody? Are you still chatting with anybody?
Yeah, one. But just like, it's not a very friendly basis.
That's so boring.
Okay, I'll get the deets later.
I'll get the deets
Don't
later.
let her get into the friend zone.
No. It's not like that.
No friend zone.
The pressure I'm feeling right now is insane.
Yes, I know. But okay, well, actually, let's divert. We'll talk about the you have so when you're in Dubai, you're partying and you had work and I don't know what. When you're in Egypt, I find that you're always posting about weddings. I'm like, how many people does Aly know that are getting married? Every week you seem to be at a wedding.
To be honest, I'm a bit of an extrovert. So I've done that personality test, and I'm an 88% extrovert. So I know a lot of people. I get to know a lot of friends. I like socializing more than anything in my life. So I'm always out and about. So I tend to get invited to a lot of weddings, and I love dancing. So there you go.
You're always at the...
And there are a lot of pictures with him and his mom dancing, which is really cool.
Yes.
I owe it all to her,
awesome.
to be honest. Yeah, I owe it all to...
Very, very cool.
Thank you.
And so you go to all these weddings. Do you feel the pressure to get married?
The pressure comes from people, not from being around these weddings. So I don't feel the pressure. I feel it's something that needs to come naturally. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My life doesn't depend on it. I would like to, maybe at some point in life, yes. But if you meet somebody that's worth it, to be honest, that's the best term for me.
Take your time.
Yeah, I'm not. There's nothing. I'm not in a hurry. But if you feel that somebody's worth your time and your effort and everything, yes, of course I'll go for it.
But you don't feel the pressure from you feel the pressure from people.
Yes. So
like how?
So everybody except my parents, thank God about that.
Yeah, you're lucky.
They never talk to me about it.
It's usually the opposite.
Yes, it's usually in Egypt. It's very it's the opposite. Yeah, but
for girls, it's the parents for sure.
Well,
that's 100%.
But maybe, but for you, so you have your pressures from by your friends?
No, not my friends. My friends' parents. Usually where it comes from. So it's like when you're there and you meet the parents. Oh man, like yalla, it's time. هنفرح فيك إمتى? هنفرح بيك إمتى? فلو it's like you feel the pressure and there's always like, oh, I'll use this girl. Oh, I'll use this girl. Oh, come here. Oh, that's her. And I'm like, you're like just on the spot being put. Like in a situation with someone that you've never met in your life, you have to dance with or you have to talk to.
So
and I'm
annoying.
like, okay, hi. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Sometimes they're a catch, to be honest. Sometimes they're not. We don't click, we don't bond. It's a very awkward situation for the both of us. But it's more of the pressure that you get from the parents. I'd like to live a story that I build with this person. I don't feel, it's not that I'm against it. I just like to feel that I want to live my own fairy tale, if that's what you want to say. Meet someone, somewhere, do something together, live that joyful life together, and then take it from there. But the pressure of putting me on spot with someone just turns me off a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do it, don't tell me. You want to do that? Perfect.
If you want to set me up, don't tell me.
Yeah, don't tell me. Don't tell me about it. Be like, we're all going out to do something. We're going to do something fun. And then if that's the case, yeah. If you bond together. If not, then it doesn't happen.
So do you consider yourself a romantic?
To an extent, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you want it to be like kind of like a fairy tale kind of...
Not to that extent.
Okay.
But yani, I can be a bit of a romantic in the relationship itself. I'm more of a giver, if that makes sense.
Yes, for sure you are.
Yeah.
So
You definitely are.
I don't mind it. I embrace it. I feel it's something that it makes me stand out different than other people, and I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's you're more kind of traditional gentleman. You're a nice guy. To tell me, what's your ideal candidate as a woman? Like, what do you look for in a woman?
How she looks like, or what's her personality. That's
Both. Tell me whatever. Some people, it's very important for looks. Obviously.
Of course, it's like everything falls with the first sight. When you see somebody you're attracted to, it's basically what you like to what basically you like more.
Yeah.
So I like brunettes, tanned. I'm just telling you my fantasy, so that might not be reality. But I like the tanned skin tone. I like green eyes. I have a thing for green eyes. Green eyes are
Salam.
so you get the vibe, huh?
Yeah.
You get that Latina vibe. That's very honest.
Older, younger.
I don't care, to be honest.
Oh, really?
If her vibes are fun, I'm there. I don't mind. So if she's a bit older, a bit younger, same age, I don't really ask the age thing. But for me, she has to have it's more of a vibe that you connect with. So she has to be fun. She has to be kind. She has to. I don't put them in tests, but it's like some stuff you need to know about the person in front of you before you think of anything.
What are your non-negotiables?
How she treats people who are less fortunate than her. How she treats her parents. How the way she dresses, the way she talks, the way she carries herself. That's very important for me. I think how she acts with people and what are her priorities in life. So if someone's priority is to always party, drink, get drunk, have fun, dance, that's it. That's not someone that you want to be with. You know what I mean? That's for a guy or a girl. I mean, it goes both ways. That's if it's not a phase that you're going through, and that's like something that you would that's you all want to do all of your life. That's not something that I would want. I would love to do it, but not all the time. Some people love that all the time. That's an example. People who are too serious all the time. Not any life. I like people who are easygoing.
Yeah.
So somebody we can just relax, enjoy time with. Let's travel tomorrow. Let's do something adventurous. Let's do that.
By the way,
flexible.
That's one of the most important things. Is I think that to be able to find somebody that you can get along with is you need to travel with them first.
True.
If you travel with somebody, I mean, I've had girlfriends I've traveled with, came back, didn't call them again. I was like, this is not a cool vibe for me.
No, because traveling says a lot about a person, how they...
Yeah, because you see them morning, nights,
awful.
but you can see what they're like
Yes,
in their everyday life. But it's out of their comfort zone of Cairo.
Exactly.
It makes a huge difference and it has a very big impact.
True.
If people are selfish, you notice it very quickly when you're traveling, because it kind of gets accentuated for someone. That point specifically becomes very obvious when you travel with somebody.
I think they're more at ease when they travel, and I'm talking about Egyptians, not foreigners in particular. I think it's the social pressure that we live in.
For sure.
It's when they go out, they want to explore more, but again, it's how are you going to explore it? It's not about you want to explore. I think it's the
For
pressure.
sure. I remember that age when I was in my 20s or 30s. I mean, of course you remember. When you go out with a guy or you're dating or something, it's very, you're in a cocoon because you can't do just fun things.
Yes.
So it's the same places you go to. You have to go out with friends. You have to come back at a certain time. There's all these rules, and I don't know if it's like that still now, but it used to be like that at my time. If you're not ala rahtak, you're not like completely comfortable.
But I think with globalization, things have changed. So I think it's become more at ease. The generations have become more ease. The parents have become more lenient.
No curfews?
No, there are of course, curfews have changed, but this is like now you can reach your kid with a second, yani. So I think this is where it came from. So there's the goods and there's the pros and the cons. It depends. So some rules and guidelines are important, to be honest, as well. Like if you leave them just hanging out and about all the time, and you know where it's going to head out. But I think a medium base where you can land both, being lenient and as well have some rules and guidelines where you need to follow. I think that's the best road that you can take. I think things have become more lenient over the years, maybe from even when I was young. Like I had strict curfews, like up till college.
Really?
These kids, of course, like these kids now stay up till I don't know what time, and they're not even 12 and 13 yet. You know what I mean? So I think things have become, but again, life has changed, so that doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it good. It just makes it different. So whether you want to adapt to it, yes or no.
Do you think it's easier to date people now than before because of that?
Of course. I think it's more accepted. than anything else, and it's more of the bond that you have with your family, the bond that you have with your friends, that makes it different.
Do you tell your parents? Because we used to be, I remember when we were younger, we don't really share these things with our parents. Like if we're dating somebody, we'll say if it's like, if you're dating somebody, you'll tell them, but not necessarily. It's more
I
like...
still don't tell you guys if I'm dating somebody.
Yeah, you're weird.
I still don't tell you guys.
You're weird, but I find that parents and their kids now are more close. So I would think that kids share more now their relationships and things and their,
I don't know. Would you share with your mother if you met somebody on Bumble or Tinder?
No.
There you go.
I don't think she knows what the Bumble and Tinder is. To start with.
Yeah.
All these
Thank God for that.
all these dating apps. The whole scene has changed. The vibe has changed. Before when we were growing up, and I'm sure when you were younger, you met people through family and friends. Yeah. Now, and when we were younger, yes, there you go, at the club.
And when we were younger, we met a lot of people at the club. And when you were younger, the most important person in your life was the bawab. البواب هيقول ايه؟
The porter. My mom, you guys are coming back late. What is the bawab going to think about you guys? I'm like, I don't care.
And I used to always say things to my mom. I was like, oh, the bawab is our benchmark now. But she gets so annoyed with me. But I was like, it was continuous. It was the bawab this, the bawab that. It was funny. But you guys don't have that now. A little bit.
I'm not that far from age where you guys are still young.
So it's easier. It's easier the dating scene there.
True.
No, but the girls, I'm sorry, like I don't know, but because I'm still dating, and then obviously I'm dating guys that are younger than me. Something weird.
Why are you obviously dating guys that are younger than you?
No, but guys that are younger than me maybe because I'm 46, they might be 40.
I think you should start dating older guys nearby.
Yeah, but older guys are perverts as well, by the way. So like, I'm not saying, I don't mean to generalize, sorry. But older guys that are married and divorced usually are looking to have fun, which is, I'm not interested.
Why? On the contrary.
Heba, I've done that already, Heba. I've had fun. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I wanted. It's not really what I want anymore.
So you're having a serious relationship with the younger ones? I put you on the spot.
No. The last guy I dated was younger. He was 6 years younger.
Yeah. 6?
Yeah, 6 years younger. He's going to be 40 in July. More than 6. 6.5. So, but then all of a sudden, okay, now we're going to get kind of nitty and gritty here a bit. All of a sudden, when you're making out with some guys,
oh my God,
they start to do stuff, and you're just like,
TMI.
It's too much information. I'm not going to give information. I'm not going to say anything, but it's that whole scene has changed.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That whole scene has changed where what's accepted, what was never accepted at our time, is very accepted now, and so much more.
Our time, sexually?
It's weird.
Everything.
Everything.
It's the whole thing. You remember a long time ago, women never used to smoke in open areas. They had to go inside like a bathroom and smoke. Now they smoke more than men do.
Yeah, I used to smoke in public. I used to be kind of slutty that way.
We both.
It's just changing. The generations have been accepting more. I think it's
no, but it's true. When
the norms have changed.
That's true.
The thing is, the norms have changed. So, and girls, I don't know if it's social media, but girls are asking for a lot of things that, to me, are just unacceptable.
So I think now, even when I've seen that girls are even more approach guys more. It's happened to me, of course, a couple of times.
By the way, as a guy, do you like that? If it's a girl that's like awesome and she looks amazing and she comes and it was really pushy and approaches you and like,
look, pushy
all
no.
over you.
Pushy no, all over me no. If there's no challenge, then there's nothing to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always the fun in the challenge.
Okay,
See, it has to be a bit of a challenge for a guy and a girl, but anything that for me, if I feel it comes easy, goes easy. You know what I mean? So I'm not to generalize. Some people like it, and it's that. But if I'm talking about myself, I'd like a bit of a challenge,
a bit of a chase,
but not a chase, but there's
a little jog.
Yeah, we need like a spice,
a light jog,
like some spice can add it. Anything that's easy is not that fun.
So wait, let's say if a girl approaches you,
I'm
but
okay with that.
doesn't make it like super easy. Like she like will be like, oh, here's my number, give me a call, and let's say it just kind of goes away and مش مدلوق عليك basically.
I'd like that. I don't want
Okay,
that.
that's okay.
But again, it all goes back to
Goes back to what?
it all goes back to the person that you're dealing with, and the person, and how open is she with you? Like, is she showing you? It's always hard for men that I feel that to understand women, because I don't understand how you guys think sometimes. To be honest,
We don't
It's
understand how we think
You guys
sometimes.
think either, by the way.
Like, we I know it's not because you're wrong or you're right. It's because you're different, and we're different. So you don't understand us, and we don't understand you. But it's very hard for me to get to know what you guys want and when. So it's always that challenge of what to do and when.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's fun. So you break that chain of command a bit when you make it a bit easier. So if you give me signals that you're accepting, that's what I like it. So I'll start do the work. You know what I mean? I'll put the effort.
Yo,
But,
Walad, that's a good one. That's a good way of putting it. But
But in response to one thing you said, being as I'm still in the dating scene, most of the time I don't understand what you guys want either. By the way,
True.
I know it should be, and please, Heba, don't say it's very easy.
no, I'm not gonna say it's very easy, but I'm gonna ask a question.
It's because I feel that you guys are confused, then I get confused, and I'm kind of like, fuck it, I can't be bothered with all of this stuff. But Heba's gone to go look at the kids, and told them to be quiet a little bit. Heba
love
stopped
them.
dating.
I
I
love
know. Heba stopped dating a while ago, so she's
I'm gonna
really
ask-
not up to date with how things progress nowadays.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes, I know.
It's
But
really
I have
crazy.
a question. Do men? My time, we didn't. We had some women that were pushy. Of course, some girls I have friends of mine I knew that were pushy with guys. But are guys? Do they pursue as much as they used to before? Because before that, it used to be more a question. Because I find, like you're saying, that a lot of women pursue much more than they used to be because it was more of a taboo before. Do men pursue as much as they did before? I'm wondering.
Okay, so if you're talking about change, so when you change something, you change the norm. When you change that now women approach men more, which means men will do less of chasing. So I'm not generalizing. Some men do chase. Some women love being chased. Again, it's the norm. But some women have more. Let's say they change the norm and they start approaching or making it a bit more easier or a bit more. They can easily accept a lot of stuff that wasn't accepted before. So yes, men do chase, but not like they used to. That's what
They've gotten a little bit lazy.
It's not lazy. If
The women are not expecting as much, so they're gonna get
exactly
that's true.
if they're not expecting, and if get men used to a certain type of way of dealing with each other, then خلاص, what do you expect from me? You want that? I got used to it. Don't come and blame me for it.
See? Tell you.
That is true.
You
to be honest.
gotta-
But that's true with men. We should always have that middle ground when we reach, yes, and everything. But if you come and you make a certain type of, I don't know, dealing with someone in a certain way, and if that's that's how you communicate together, and that's how everything goes, and you suddenly change it, you're gonna find a lot of rebellious. But if that's what you used to, then don't blame me for that. You know what I mean? It should be common ground from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the. Yeah, I always say, I was telling Nira also the other day when we were talking on another podcast, we were talking about, I'm very into that movie, not very into it. I used to like,
He's just not that into
he's just not that into, to me made absolute sense because even before that movie came out, when we were teenagers, I remember always thinking when a friend of mine would want advice about guys, or she's just telling me the story, I'm like, he's obviously not interested in you. But I used to always have friends that be like, no, but I think he meant that, or he meant that. But I think he really wants to be with me. But it's like, no, sweetheart, you'll feel it if he wants to be with you.
But
that's how I
It's
feel.
a gut feeling, to be honest.
No, I
agree with
totally
But
agree.
I don't know. But I'm pretty harsh. Yeah, when it comes to these things, I remember with girlfriends, I was like, no, he's not into you. Just move on.
I agree, but sometimes I feel that there's so much more options. I don't know, like, let's say if I'm dating a guy, and yes, okay, I will agree. Sometimes they're not into me, and that's fine. Whatever, whatevs. But sometimes they have a certain attitude that if this doesn't work out, I have plan B, and plan B, C, D, E are other girls that are also chasing them.
It's the same
you
thing
know.
like
So it becomes so you're sort of not only trying to see
You're
what's
competing
happening.
with
You're
others.
only trying to see how this is going, but you're well aware that there is a lot of things in the background that are happening simultaneously. So how, right?
True for men and for women. So women
Oh,
have
yeah.
their options open all the time. They do like I feel it's very, I know for a fact that women do that and men do 100%. So you always have this someone you're talking to in the background. You have friends that are close to you.
You're leaving things. Yeah, your
Threads.
options
You have
open.
threads. Options open or not open, but you have threads.
Yes.
So basically you throw a thread every now and then, like women do. Same thing. So I don't feel that there's much into it.
It's like the dating apps. If you think about it, I don't want to get into a whole discussion about dating apps,
that's
but
crazy. That's
the
crazy.
dating apps.
That's an episode all on its own, Heba.
You have so many options. Like if a woman's on a dating app or a guy's on a dating app, you're looking at 100 different people a day, and obviously you're not going to pick one, and that's going to be your like the one you're going to pick and choose. Yeah.
But human nature, you always want what you can't have.
Aha! Words of wisdom. That's a good one.
So
Men
basically-
are like that.
I think in women too sometimes. I've seen that before.
It's true.
It's when a guy doesn't give them like I've seen it with both genres, so with men and with women.
Yeah,
so you've always it's if you know you can't have it, that's what makes it desirable, and that's what makes famous people very attractive and makes them always wanted, because you know that you can't have them and it's very hard.
Tell me something. Do you have a lot of friends? So you've gone to so many weddings.
Yeah.
Are any of those friends getting divorced?
Oh, that's a big discussion. A lot of them do get divorced. Unfortunately, that's very
Really?
sad. Yeah.
I hope before they have kids.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of my friends did get divorced.
It seems like here a lot of people get divorced within that first year.
That's true. And unfortunately, it's very sad that you have to go through all of that and then get divorced. There's a lot of reasons behind it. Social reasons, pressure, getting out of your house, want to try a new life, whatever it was, and then you don't get to know the person in front of you that well. Like you said, you need to travel with them first, for example. But when you get to live with them the life and see how they live their life and see how their traditions are and the norms and everything, you just don't bond. That's one of the reasons, of course. Many more, but it is a fact that we have to live with, and it's scary for someone like me. It is scary. Like when you think of it, do you want to go through all of this and then not work in the end, and then after everything, for whatever reason, you have to stop it, which I don't think should be the case, but it is.
Well, because in Cairo, I mean, a lot of it's not like that. A lot of places outside of like in Europe or in the States, here there's a lot of financial pressure.
True.
I think more than other places, in the sense that when you marry, there has to be the wedding, there has to be the ring, there has to be, I don't know about what else there is. There's like the apartment, there's living expenses that are insane now.
Yeah.
Education for your kids.
Cars. Yeah, I'm talking about like even before you have kids.
Before you
I'm
have
talking about
kids.
just the beginning, just Hashem, you just get married. The weddings now, I don't know, those weddings I would think cost at least £1 million.
Million.
How about what?
Million. That was before Ta'wim.
So £3 million?
A million is just for the tablecloth and the tables.
But that's what I'm saying. In that sense,
True.
it's a lot of pressure. I mean, can you imagine you getting married and you spend all that money? I can imagine for a guy too, he needs to think like once, twice, 3 times really hard, because men are the ones that are footing the bill basically in Egypt, right?
True.
Mostly.
If you're talking about about the wedding and all of the accessories that come with the wedding, now it's 50-50. I've seen that. Yeah,
that's good.
So I've seen
because
that.
our time used to be more like 100%.
Yes, that's true. But at your time, I think
It was cheaper,
Yeah,
you meant.
not even cheaper. It was easier. Now I don't think that now you get the luxury of picking and choosing, and it's basically that's what I want. Like my friend had this wedding, I want to have a bigger wedding.
Really?
My friend had this dress, I want to have a bigger dress. And for guys as well, and it goes both ways. But it's pressuring, to be honest. But if you're talking about a day-to-day paying the bills and everything, yes, of course, it's supposed to be the guy's job. He's a provider. Although in the beginning, sometimes they bond in together and support each other, which is, I believe, is great. I mean, it's hard being both of you living together, enjoying your life together. It's a part of the life journey, and that you live together. You build yourself together.
You build yourselves together.
But I think now the expectations have gone so high that every girl wants her dream wedding, and that's not something bad. But the pressure that you put on everyone around you and the guys and everything, it's very hard. And for men, I want to live in that villa, and I want to get that car, and I want to do that.
Could it be a deal breaker for a guy?
But which part?
Which part exactly? Because
The whole, like, let's say if this woman that you're in love with, and she's like, "But I want this massive dress, this expensive dress, this massive wedding," but no, I'm not. If she doesn't compromise, it could it be a deal breaker?
Of course, for me, yeah, it shows how materialistic you are and how you're attached to the materialistic world more than the human being that you want to live with. You can marry someone who's insanely rich but then loses money the second day. What are you gonna do then?
I say, keep the kitab, make it cheap. Sorry, not that I think, and spend money on the honeymoon. Honeymoon is way more important. That's memories.
That's true. That is true.
That's memories. I'd rather
You
have
pay money for people to come to your wedding, eat, and just keep on nagging about everything about the wedding. Huh?
exactly, and then complain, and then they bitch about the wedding. They say nice things. They tear your wedding. They tear your dress apart. It's brutal. Like you're on the hot seat, and they really tear it to pieces.
But in a way, it's a memory
even the
too with
kids.
your friends.
Agreed. I love weddings. I'd love a wedding, but if I get to pick,
BYOB, bring your own beer. My wedding, but bring your own alcohol.
bring everything with you. Bring your food.
I won't charge you for the bouchon. Just bring your own bottle.
I had both my weddings were tiny. My first one I had 50 people. Second one we're 100 people. Fayani, I personally don't like these big weddings because I'm not an extrovert, so I don't like these too. But yeah, they're nice memories.
They're more
I agree with you. Too big. Well, it depends. I mean, I guess if you can afford it, and like you said, like if the guy really wants a big wedding as well, maybe that could be.
Yeah, it's. I think it
He
comes
has a
more
lot
from-
of friends. Poor Ali, though. You know what I'm saying?
I know this is the problem. You need to start becoming an introvert.
you have to stop going to
before you
all
get
these
married.
weddings.
or just not do a wedding, or do a destination wedding somewhere like Maldives. I'm there.
That's true. I have a friend of mine. She's getting married, and she sends me the wedding invite. She's a very close friend of mine. She sends me the wedding invite, and she's like, "Oh, RSVP, fine, RSVP." I get on the website. It's in Seychelles. I was like, "What the hell is she thinking?" I was like, "What are you doing this wedding so that nobody comes to your wedding?"
Yeah, and they do that so only close people come to their wedding.
Yeah.
But
Bad idea.
Yeah.
But one time, because I would get invited to weddings, but I never go. I'm like, you have to give me a month's notice or else I won't come. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't like weddings. So I was just like, Nira, you realize that nobody's going to come to your wedding. I'm like, good. My guest list is going to be like 5 people. Perfect. I don't need more people to come to my wedding. No, I actually don't like weddings.
But you guys are different than what's happening around in my scene.
Yes, of
Like
course.
where the scene is now everybody wants the big, lovely, lavish wedding that everyone wants to
noticed,
attend to. A lot of nice food, a lot of nice and get the actors and the performers and I don't know what, and so it is a bit pressuring. But if the person in front of you is willing to compromise on all what they want, and you guys are both together accepting it, whether you're male or female, then why not?
It's like a
Do the
college
parents get involved in these weddings? Kada?
Of course, like paying for the weddings.
No, I mean, do they get involved? Like, to have opinions? And the mother of the bride was like,
They have their own guest list. Have parents.
Of course.
I can imagine,
Of
right?
course. But it depends on the parents. Like, not all parents do that, but some of them are controlling. Yes, they do. Like, I need, my daughter would not wear except this, my daughter would want that. And sometimes there are deal breakers because of that.
I'm sure.
Because
The wedding
they get
rings.
too involved.
The wedding rings sometimes as well. Like
Everything. Everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, and sometimes I understand where they're coming from. They want the best, what they want for their kids, but too much involvement kills it.
yeah.
Just too much damage is done. Khalas. There's nothing that can be done after that.
It's true. I feel for you, Adi. It's tough nowadays.
True.
This pressure.
You don't feel for me?
No, Nir, you're not. Are you gonna have? I can't imagine you. I can't imagine you having like this massive wedding. with a big dress
I'd
and-
rather elope and not do anything. Wait, no.
unless you marry a 20-year-old.
Oh God, no.
I mean, but anybody you're gonna marry is gonna be kind of your age. I don't think you guys are gonna want this massive wedding, right?
Well, the
Well,
wedding is
you
never.
never know.
You never know. The wedding
You
is
never
never
know.
about. It's never about you, the people getting married. A lot of times, it's about the families that are getting married.
Families.
Let me ask you something.
What? Me?
No, both of you.
Okay.
Do you think? Okay, I'm not talking about myself. Do you think I should go for an Egyptian or a foreigner?
Ooh.
Egyptian.
Egyptian? Like what you see now, from what you see around us now. Not for me maybe, but for men in Egypt or men like me. So from my society and my friends.
Why I think you should go for an Egyptian?
Why?
Because you're the kind of guy who's very attached to your family, your culture, your roots. All of your friends are like you, so you're open-minded, but you're Egyptian at heart. But for you, somebody that's a foreigner, I find no offense to any foreigners who are listening, I find that if you go out, if you date or you marry a foreigner, it might make you not. You'll feel maybe less connected. I feel like it'll suit you more to be with somebody who's Egyptian.
Okay. What do you think?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. I think, I'm not sure.
Long
Sometimes, no, because sometimes I felt with you, sometimes again, I'm sorry, don't mean to offend anybody who's listening, but sometimes I feel that the too Egyptian is not you.
True.
That's what I said. I said like somebody who's open-minded like him.
But you can also find a lot of foreigners that have been here for a very, very long time that have been Egyptianized.
Who's the tutu Egyptian, though? The tutu Egyptian, he's not in the circle with people. He's in the circle with people that he's kind of...
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised about even if he's in that shilla that has a couple, like his friends that live in Dubai and stuff like that are not, that have been exposed to different cultures and different ways of life and stuff like that. You'll still find the very Egyptian guy in the shilla, like the super Egyptian guy.
No, I don't.
So it will always attract the super Egyptian girls. And the super Egyptian girls are very attracted to the likes of Ali. Okay? He's Egyptian, but kind of really cool and not too Egyptian and open-minded as well, because a lot of guys are not open-minded. They pretend to be, but they're not. So it's that nice combination.
I think all Egyptians are men are generally less open-minded than you would think at the end of the day. But I could be wrong. I could be sometimes living under a rock.
True.
No, I agree with you.
To extent, yes.
Yes, I agree with you.
It's the ego part that plays that role. I think it's the ego jealousy, like controlling a bit, like guys meant to be like more of... I'm a leader. So you have to follow me, you know what I mean?
واد الحبش.
بالظبط. Agreed.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting analysis, both of you.
I see you. It's I think a bit tricky.
I think for me,
Yeah, what do you think?
I think a mix of both. So someone who has lived abroad, who's Egyptian. You get what I'm
like
going.
somebody who's
That's
Egyptian,
what I meant.
who's been living in Dubai, who's been like
So I mean, I should go to Dubai now.
Dubizzled, exactly. Who's been Dubizzled? Yes, probably. You'll probably find that because I find also that a lot of times the girls here, again generalizing, and I don't mean to. This is from what I've heard and the conversations I've had with friends and stuff like that. That there's some girls here are a bit too attached to their families and friends, where it becomes problematic in the relationship because I've had friends that have gone out, that have married
But
girls.
by the way, I'll tell you something. I think that's something that's inevitable in Cairo. If you live in the same city where your parents live, you're always going to be much more sheltered. That's why a lot of couples that move abroad tend to, and this is from, I've seen people that I know that have gotten married and moved abroad, those relationships work better in a way. I don't mean better, but they last longer. They have to, because they only have each other to rely on.
True.
Here you don't. Hena, if Hasim's pissed off at me or if I'm annoyed with him, I can see a friend, I can do a million things. But it can be detrimental to a relationship because you don't have that need to work on it.
Yes,
yeah?
Agreed.
So that's why I think it's inevitable. It's not about...
There is that codependence you have on your friends and your family, which when you, like what you said, if you're living abroad, if you get married and live abroad, you're forced to deal with the issues with each other
and to work
on
them
the
out.
spot, instead of calling somebody up and they're telling you he's an asshole, leave him. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because also when people are around you enough time, they start to plant certain ideas in your head. So that's why I don't know.
It has its pros and its cons.
Exactly.
Of course. Having family and friends around you is always good, but it can be detrimental in some ways. So it's just, it depends on the person, because I don't think everybody has the ability to go out and live by themselves and explore life without their family and friends. They're too dependent on their families not a bad thing, but again, it has its pros and the cons. So that's what I think. Just a mix of both would be good, or someone who is, like you said, Egyptian lives in Dubai, or someone who lives, a foreigner that lives in Egypt and has been more Egyptianized.
That's the ideal thing.
Yeah, but who knows?
Yeah. You just need to, I don't know.
Lose weight.
So yeah. We all need to lose weight. Anyways, so on that note, we want to hopefully by our next episode, next time we have Ali on, he'll be married or engaged to be married, inshallah. But
take your time. No,
now,
if
by the
I
way,
hear
the
of a nice love
30s
story with Ali, I'll be very happy.
30s are the best. That's the best decade.
It's
the
awesome.
30s. So enjoy it to the max. And we're so happy that you came onto the podcast, and we're so happy you were open to all the questions and putting you on the spot. And we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you have any questions for Ali or any questions for Nira and I, please send us a DM on Who Said What Podcasts, our Instagram account. And don't forget to subscribe. So until next week, happy fasting.
Happy fasting. Thank you for being here, Ali.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being with you guys. It's an honor.
Pleasure
Loved
having
it.
you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.